Hello. And
Hello,
good
Lynn.
evening. Eventually,
Lynn.
good evening after 30
Hello,
minutes.
Priscilla.
Hi to Steve and Lynn, to Istvan. I just
Seems like it's not a good day
I'm so
after
happy that you could just
all
jump on
the different
at the
unit
last minute.
changes, eh?
It's a good job. I know you guys that you can just hop on when I need you to.
He's just going to turn off the other one because now we're hearing an echo with everything we say. So
that's okay. So I'm just glad that you guys were able to hop on.
Okay. You'll be back
because
soon.
Our lady Jennifer Alden was unfortunately couldn't get her mic to work no matter what she did, what she tried. So obviously we were not meant to talk about everything that she needed to talk about tonight. So we're just going to do it and wing it. So I thought it'd be quite interesting because there are so many changes happening at the moment in the universe. We're just going through, we've just entered into the Lions portal for the month of August. And that means that we are in a very heightened state of energy, which means we're going to be having 2 different full moons. So we've had one last night and tonight, and then we have another full moon again at the end of the month. So we're in like a little gate. It's called the Lion's Gate. And it can be quite powerful. So what we choose to put out to the universe now is so important. So if anybody's got any questions or queries about things that are going bump in the night in their lives, please feel free to ask Lynn and Istvan and myself, and we'll endeavor to answer any questions. Okay. Yes, Tracy, it's the blue moon, as Tracy says. Blue moon, definitely. What was that old-fashioned song that we used to have? Blue moon. I saw you standing alone, and sometimes you do. You feel like you're alone. So and it's the lions. It's the lions.
You're all alone with
Yes, now we're left all alone. So
Right.
we just say definitely.
I'm not too sure exactly where we stand. Sorry.
Carry on. I'm listening.
I lost you there, Priscilla, with what you were saying.
Okay. So what I was saying is that
but then,
it was at the beginning part of our month. So it's kind of like telling us that we need to sort of really it's like a super moon in a sense. So it's a time to stop allowing your ego mind to take the doubt and to follow your unique path. So when people are saying that, okay, we've got like a time when we are doubting things, this is the month when we shouldn't be doubting at all, because this is when we get the super moon and the blue moon at the end of the month. So between the 2 moons, it's going to be very, very powerful for us. So a lot of things like fear and sort of uncertainty may cripple us. So we're saying to the universe, trying to convince you that you'll never make it and that you're not doing it right. And I think we've all gone through stuff like that, when you're feeling as if you're trying to achieve something and then it just doesn't go right. How do you guys feel about that?
Like tonight.
Tonight.
Lynn, you going to answer first, or well, basically, absolutely. Well, tonight, this whole month coming up, from my aspects as well, is it's a month that where whatever you've implemented over the last couple of years and months are actually going to now start take fruition. So by the end of this month, big changes are going to happen in one's life in all areas. And that is so important for each and every one of us. I mean, I know that Lynn and I have done some drastic changes over the last couple of months in our year, and also in our land, more so in the last 2 weeks. So we do believe that big changes are going to happen, and this is the month that we're going to start seeing the fruition of it.
I also think so. This is like the gateway where we are going to be resolving issues or putting past hurts and issues away. And I will speak about just now of a very good ritual to maybe do in the evening of the full moon. But it's also that we're going to have a big change coming in September and October. And we've been prepared. And a lot of people have felt a little bit nauseous, headachy, things like that. We are actually going into a whole new cycle. So the cycles are astrologically, they don't have to be started in January or whatever. And we are going to reap a lot of the rewards and benefits. The only thing you need to do is be very clear and have clarity of where you want to go going forward. Do you have anything to say?
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We've got to step forward in all aspects of our lives. It's so important for us individuals, both spiritually and for the layperson, to step forward and to take on the challenges that are about to occur in our lives, and to make the best
Exactly.
of each day as it comes along. Look for the opportunities more so than anything else.
And I think
Exactly.
something that we do that people may not know is it's a very, very good time to take your crystals and cleanse them and put them out in moonlight, because they are natural things. They give off an energy, and they also start absorbing negative energy, and they grow a little bit weaker as time goes past. If you take your gemstones and put them out, you take the whole tray and put it out into the moonlight, and no, we don't start howling like wolves. It's for night, but no, I don't howl at the moon. It's actually very good to energize your crystals.
Yes.
No, don't. The wolf is full of fleas, and he's passing his fleas on to me now. What I would also suggest is take a piece of paper and write on a piece of paper things that you feel aggrieved about, that you want to get rid of. You know, your old car's not working properly, or the man at work's always picking on you, or something, whatever your
pick up the old man that's picking on you at work, and you put him out in the moonlight.
No,
Yes.
I didn't say that. I said write it on a piece of paper, and then below that you write what you wish in the coming months. So in September and October, those things will start coming to fruition. So it's almost as though you're doing one of those, what I like to call a journey or vision board, and you write down, I want to be more patient, I want this, I want that, have less fleas from Istvan, things like that. And then what I would suggest is you go out into the light and you beckon the spirit guides, because your spirit guides are always around you all the time. And you beckon the angels and you ask for the moon power to eliminate all the negative things, and you actually pray and you ask for your fruition on your vision board of things that you want to have happen, come true. And then what we normally do is take a candle and we light the end of the piece of paper and then put it into a bowl and let it burn away. And then what we do with that is we take those ashes and we let them wash down the drain, so that the negative is washed away the drain and the positive is all the requests have gone up to the ethers.
Definitely, because I think,
Spirit
is
when you do that,
at
you
the
just
moment.
flush away
Yeah.
all the bad days. That's really what we're trying to do. Get rid of,
But I feel like,
get rid of
especially this month,
all negativity in our life.
yeah. But especially for this month, I feel like Spirit is here to remind you
I have
that
also
as long as
found
you
a
are
lot of
following in
times-
your authenticity and passion, so on the right, so that you know that you're on the right path, and so you're discovering and reshaping your reality based on what your freedom feels to you.
Exactly.
So it's so important. This requires you to sort of drop the old conditioning, like you say, your limiting programming, where you cut yourself short, and it's, you're perfect in your own weird, casual, raw, and free-spirited nature. So it's a time for you to do the things that are going to make you happy.
And those that don't believe in the power of the moon, I'm just going to say this. We have very high tides when it's moon and when it's full moon. And that isn't us. That is the universe. That is spirit. That is what actually happens. And that is the energy created on the planet. We are about 75% of water. And if it does that to a sea, can you imagine what it's doing to our bodies? So I have found with doing the healing, I don't know if you found that with doing our integrated healing and Reiki, that people that have depression or tend to be slightly bipolar, taking medication for it or have that type of thing, it is worsened by the full moon. And that is because of the pull on the body. Now, a lot of people used to say, oh, nonsense. They also used to
No, it's the bout of werewolves. The full moon. Well, that's the other half of us coming out, really. It's, all of us have two sides to our persona. And really, the full moon just highlights possibly our alter ego, which is the more brazen character. So it would also heighten if you are depressed, it would heighten your depression more so than your positivity in your life. So you've got to learn how to balance that out in your life.
And also those that actually have those highs, their highs will be very high during this time. So I would advise them, don't go on spending sprees, don't sign any contracts, don't do anything like that, because your emotions are really heightened and you may not be thinking as clearly as what you should be.
Very much so.
Oh,
and it's also important to know where to
contracts unless you have thought it through very carefully.
Or preferably behind. Yeah. This month, with having, saying we're starting August with a full moon, we're ending August with a full moon, and during this time, this is your last time to actually cleanse, get ready, because boy, oh boy, the next few months are going to be difficult. What do you think about the next few months?
Well, let's see. We're coming to the end of Michaelmas, has just come and gone, going into the mid-year, new year as such. So it's a time of change, really. It's positive options are available until we go into the Northern Hemisphere's winter solstice. And for us here down south, it's summer, so it's suntans and a lot of sun cream as well. But from that side, there's so much positivity coming through in the whole spiritual arena that it's amazing. The amount of growth that's happening all around with everyone. There seems to be that spring in their step, which is fantastic to see.
And a lot of people have suddenly, I've noticed, got this feeling of, oh, you know what, let's just dust it off. What's happened has happened. Let's go forward. And that's probably the better way of doing things. We're not saying block it or pretend it's not there, but we are saying let go of all the negativity totally so that you can go forward and experience a new lease on life, because we definitely are going to have a huge change. You can almost feel it. A lot of people have had problems in the last 2 days. Some have had headaches from the full moon. I think you suffered with a headache, Istvan.
Oh, yeah. Not often, but now and again, especially when it's full moon.
Exactly. That's all because you're in the head. You're too thinking and you're not feeling in your emotions. So it's almost as though the full moon's saying, stop being so in the head and start talking and being emotional. The other thing is maybe I'm being a pain in the backside because I know that I've actually been flushing out the other way with the tummy problem and releasing. So either I'm releasing negativity or hopefully I'm not being a pain in the backside. Who knows?
Tell you a secret. She isn't a pain in the butt.
And I've also found that, especially for this month now in the Lionsgate portal, it's very much a time where we have to follow our instincts, but also we start to develop like a higher consciousness and awareness. And we get enhanced intuition, and our psychic abilities are starting to really develop and really open up. And then you also get unexpected endings and new beginnings. So things will come to an end very abruptly or start very abruptly, and you'll feel a lot more awakened. Like suddenly things will make sense to you that you didn't see them before. And then after that time of having like headaches and things like that, you get this like energized and inner alignment. And then you'll also be like seeing things like the 11:11 and 33:33 and 44:44, or 10:10. So you'll get the angelic numbers coming up,
Exactly.
which is helping you to then say, okay, I'm on the right path. I'm seeing the changes happening. Everything is aligning for us. And I think we are going into a new way of being and a new way of thinking. So it's for us to sort of really receive the messages from spirit through our dreams or our abilities, and to honestly sort of like maybe instantly manifest them and alter your own reality. So accept them, because it's like, if you're going to resist them, it's going to be a lot harder for you down the line. And you're going to get this like feelings of like deja vu and synchronicities helping around you.
A lot of the stuff
and downloads.
And I think
So
for twin flames or twin souls, as we are, it's a lot harder during the full moon because the energy is higher and we are like yin and yang. So if I'm up, then Istvan's going to be down. We balance each other out. And we find that during the full moon, it's actually there's a definite pull to almost polar position.
Yeah, totally polar opposites. That's why I'm sitting further back. So that she can have the limelight, I can just keep in the shadows.
Yes. It's important to know your place.
I find that if you are close to someone or in a relationship.
No, I'd rather let the lady go first, She can clear the path, I'll just follow through.
What a gentleman.
Chivalry isn't dead.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's so nice. And if I come to an edge that I don't see, it's actually so that you can walk behind and you can pull me back and save me. I'm sure that's what it's for.
No, so I can just push you forward.
Forward off the edge. So it's actually quite interesting from a lot of different points of view. You'll find that children that are hyperactive become a bit more hyper and jittery. They can't really pay attention, but they don't know why. They're not able to sleep properly. And a lot of these children, it's because they're so highly strung and this moon energy is so powerful, it actually has an effect on them. I mean, it has an effect on Istvan, so there we go.
No, not at all. No, it's just so interesting just talking about the lunar effects on our lives. It's quite astounding that we Westerners don't actually take as much recognition of how it actually affects the personalities as do the Asian communities, the Indians, that with the Ayurvedic astrologers, because they create such wonderful and accurate lunar how would you say it, profiles on a person that from their date of birth, that it's strikingly accurate as to what can happen in their future as well.
But also how the moon affects it, because it's a bit like our different star signs. You're a fire sign, so it's going to amp up your fire, and that energy is just going to make that fire go whoosh. Whereas I'm a water person, so either I'm going to stop and start sinking.
You just go with the flow.
Or I'm going to go with the flow.
Exactly. But I think it's also important to not just sort of like blindly run into all the things that we need to do. We've also got to like spiritualize everything, even the most trivial things. We need to like bless our lives. We need to thank everything we do with love. We need to give gratitude, because that's something that's so important, and that will then strengthen us as people, and also strengthen our health and the health and well-being of us, of our bodies and things like that. So that's also going to help us move forward this month, especially. And, it's this whole vibrant sort of like transformation that we are just like a new me, a new you. What is it that we want to bring to the world? And it's just about embracing that and stepping forward.
Oh, definitely. We need to step forward, but at the same time, we need to acknowledge the negatives in our life that are there. By acknowledging it, we are just saying, yes, we know it's there, and we will work through those issues one step at a time, and not make it our focus for this period of the month, or should I say this month alone. Because if we focus on the negative, it's actually going to not allow us to move forwards on the positives and the new opportunities that have come to fruit in this month for us.
Definitely.
So I think it doesn't just it's not still not too late to do the issue with the paper and burn. The other interesting part is you can every night, even though there's not a moon, you can actually light a candle and give thanks and say, Heaven above, I know you see me. I thank you for all that you have helped me achieve. And we feel blessed. And I know that you will assist with everything you've got. And then just stand there for a few minutes and visualize all your different chakras and visualize that energy coming down and balancing your chakras. Because I feel from the 1st to the 30th, there's this period specifically so that you can get adjusted or accepting or have your gratitude, so that when the end of the month comes, we're ready for what's in store for us in September.
Exactly. And I think that's important, is that we know what our strengths and our weaknesses are. So,
oh, definitely. We each have to look at our strengths and weaknesses, especially if we're in a relationship. We've got to look at how we can walk alongside our partner in all aspects. Yet from one side, Lynn is strong on the domestic side of the cooking. I'm not the best cook around, but I'm quite a good kitchen hand, as in washing dishes and chief dishwasher. So and service. So we try and work together as a team in all aspects. It's also important for us to acknowledge one another and compliment one another when compliments are due. The more we do that, the more we build on relationships as well, either with our partner or with our offspring. I mean, that's so important to have that continuity and that bond with our offspring, because we're there to nurture them and guide them. So it's also an important time to put positive reinforcement into their lives.
Have you noticed with the animals, the cats have slept most of the day for the last 2 days, but they are in a different mood to what they normally are, and the little dog is also in a different mood. So this actually affects all living creatures, whether it's the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, human kingdom. They're all affected by this, and it's quite interesting to sit and observe how these changes happen. And it's something that we can't fight against. We have to literally go with the flow. it's called lunar for a reason, because it's the lunatic time. And people turn into a bit of a lunatic, either by spending or doing stupid things they wouldn't normally do, and prancing around playing pranks.
Definitely. It is so true. I mean, like with the animals. Priscilla, I'm sure you've noticed as well with your pets at home as well, how they've actually had a more docile period, and also being
very much so.
Keeping quite close to you, like actually very much your second shadow.
Definitely. For the last 2 days,
what's happening with
the
everyone's
pets have not
animals
left my side.
Yeah.
So the fact is that the cat sleeping on top of me and the dog on my leg.
They know there's change happening.
Yes. So it's been quite interesting.
We've had about the same thing, because we've got the two cats, and we have the one cat sleeping on me, and Istvan's cat sleeping between us, and then my chihuahua sleeping between us. So I think I'm lack of sleep actually, because
we pin down most nights.
Yes,
we've been
and
pinned
it's
down,
frustrating
and
that you can't
as we
turn
move,
over.
so they move with us. They're just a lot more clingy.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's actually more comfortable to sleep in a sleeping bag than to sleep with three animals on the bed and your partner.
I was going to say, and your wife.
Exactly. Oh, it's very interesting. So I thought it'd be quite nice.
And also, I found that I dream a lot during full moon, and I find that I'm also quite restless.
Yes, I'm exactly the same. I also do a lot of dreaming. Mind you, I do a lot of dreaming anyway, but particularly more intensive dreaming, especially around the time of the full moon. They become a lot more vivid and real and realistic. So that's quite important, is that listen to your dream, because it's the way the universe is trying to interpret things for you and to give you the answers you're looking for in a gentler way than just, in your face kind of thing. So they give it to you in your dreams. So it's very important at the moment to sort of pay attention to the things, not just in the waking world, but also in the sleep world, in the dream world. So I thought of maybe
the one's dreams and that have become
carry on.
Basically
a time delay.
The dreaming side. Yes, it's for me. It's dreaming has become a lot more intense over this period of time. Normally, I don't. It's difficult. Whoops. Looks like we have a little bit of.
So Spirit is actually giving us some problems now and saying, well, I'll show you what happens to energy. Energy over the ethers can be dictated to as well.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
so
it was
with
crazy
this period,
because I was
amazing with the dream side.
Yeah. And I tried for 20 minutes to connect with my person that was going to be talking tonight with me for 20 minutes. She couldn't get her mic to work at all. And it was just like, okay, they've silenced her, so she's obviously not meant to talk today. So it is a spirit. If spirit are leading you down a different path, then you've got to follow, because maybe the message we have to give tonight wasn't about what she needed to talk about. So maybe her voice wasn't meant to be heard tonight. So I always have to pay attention to that and what spirits are trying to tell me. And you can't fight against them in the machine.
And have a look at your evening and just free yourself up. I know that
exactly.
That I'm actually withdrawn a little bit and been a little bit on the side with
more so to concentrate.
Yes.
And to be a lot
more in the last 2 days. Have you found?
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so you more. And have you found that it helps you with your work as well?
Definitely. The technical side, it's helped me focus a lot more on my work arena. which does affect the spiritual side quite a lot. Because there's two different fields altogether. You know, it's like living Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde life from the spirituality point of view. So it's difficult to.
It is very difficult to
outline.
Mix the two worlds together.
It is very difficult.
Yes, the one is pure logic, and the other is a lot more. The spiritual. Life is more free will, open-minded. There is no fixed parameters to it. So
disciplined in the spiritual world. You still have to cleanse. You still have to, and especially when it's full moon, the best part is that to have an Epsom salts bath. I mean, I find that with your energies is a wonderful cleansing on full moon. So yeah,
very much so.
Tell me, Istvan, do you find that during the full moon that there's lots of more
From an IT perspective, it varies more to the end user, really, is where they are in their spiritual walk, because that affects their electronic equipment at the end of the day. The more in tune that person is, the less issues they have from an electronic equipment perspective.
Interesting. Definitely. Because I've had nothing but problems with my computer the last 2 days, and suddenly the printer won't work, and then it's on fixed in the night, and then the next day it's going on. Hey, you don't need to print this. You need to actually sit and think about this first before you print it out.
Well,
definitely. So I thought it'd be quite nice for us to do like a little.
That would be nice. Sometimes.
I thought of doing like a little positive affirmation for everybody. So whoever is listening and whoever will be listening to this
in the
future, it's important to us, to also just clear the clutter and clear the mind. And there's this wonderful little affirmation that I like to send the people that I connect with, friends, family members, clients, things like that. And it goes like this. It says, I release all negative energy and embrace the power of the divine within me. I trust my intuition and use it to make wise decisions. I am surrounded by a protective shield of light and love. I attract positivity and blessings into my life with ease. So mote it be. And I feel like that's just so plain and simple and to the point of just saying to you, just accept it, accept the light within you, trust your gut feeling and your intuition. Make the right decisions and the wisest decisions for yourselves, because at the end of the day, if we don't do what's best for us, we can't help anybody else. So we've always got to make the decisions that we need to make for ourselves before we help anybody else. It's like when you're on an airplane and they drop that mask. I always say, put your own mask on first before you help your neighbor. And that's so true in the spiritual world as well. We need to help ourselves first, and then we can shift and move on and help somebody else before we can, because otherwise our energies are not where they need to be. And especially in this time now with this double moon, it's giving you a time to sort of really compact it and do it in a short space of time. Stop procrastinating. Stop, thinking if only, or I can't do this. Hint, hint. I don't know how to connect. Hint, hint. But with this full moon, now's the time for you to say, step into it. You're given this little block of time now to really just do what you need to do and just allow spirit to take you where it needs to take you. Just release all the negativity. And I think that is one of the biggest things we can do as spiritual beings, and even as non-spiritual beings. If feeling as if you are pulling towards spirituality or wanting to delve more into this is a perfect way to just allow spirit to take you and guide you where it needs to go, because they'll never guide you wrong. They might give you a bumpy ride, but they'll never guide you wrong.
No.
So that's very important to do that. Any words of wisdom?
Absolutely. I mean, considering it takes 21 days to, yeah, and also with the 4 weeks that are here between the next full moon, the most interesting part for everyone out there listening is that we've got 21 days to make a change to a habit or an action that we want to get rid of. So by the time the next full moon comes around, we can have implemented a new habit into our lives, which will have a positive change. And most importantly, because there's those extra 7 days there, we can spend time to analyze which actions we want to have changed, number one. And number two, we can do an analysis at the end of the 21 days as to if we've implemented the correct changes.
But as you say, if you want to kick sugar or any habit, 21 days. So if you can stick it out for 21 days, you basically kick that habit. The interesting part is also with Reiki, when you do one of your Reikis and get initialized, it's 21 days for that to process through your body, into your cells, into your DNA, and for you to cleanse out and purify. So it is actually a very special time.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize that with the full moons, it actually makes it so much easier to see where you are along your path.
But with this double whammy here now, it's actually really exciting, because if you utilize it to its best and use the energy to its best, you can in the 21 days eliminate your fears, eliminate your habits and habits and things, and also then state what in the last 7 days what you want going forward, so that you can go into the next month, and then and then act on it, because it's no good just stating I want to be a millionaire. It starts with you, and you have to follow through. There's no secret thing inside the air that's going to jump down and say, well, here, cha-ching, here's your money. Your wish is my command. There's no Aladdin in the lamp, in the ethers. It starts with you, and you have to do the work. Even with psychic work.
I've been looking for that Aladdin's lamp, but I still haven't found it.
The genie's on holiday.
He's on holiday.
No, didn't you get the memo? With South Africa, we're on load shedding, so the genie's lost its Wimmo.
No, man, he's been evicted. He doesn't live in the genie and the lamp anymore.
That's it. Definitely not.
Yeah, true.
But I feel like, it is important that we. So it's important that we sort of take that journey that we have to take, and really just embrace it. As you were talking about the 21 days, it's so important for us to look at those 21 days. And I've even just challenged my son to do a 21-day challenge in listening to something every day for 21 days. And to my surprise, he actually started today. So I said to him, just keep going, keep doing this challenge and keep listening to this affirmation for 21 days and see how it changes your life. So that I'm also going to be doing it. So the two of us are going to be doing the same affirmation for 21 days. And I think it's so important that we set boundaries and we set goals for ourselves. And we say, why not? Why can't we be that? Why can't we do that? There's nothing holding us back but ourselves. So my message to everybody is get out of your own way and let spirit guide you. So what is your final sort of messages to everybody out there?
Absolutely. I mean, the thing is also just open your eyes and just whatever you hear around you, listen twice and speak once.
Exactly.
Which is so important for us as well as to hear what they say, analyze it, and then reply. Not just on the surface, hear what they're saying on the servers and acting on that. We need to understand what is actually being communicated to us.
I think if for the next 21 days, you've touched on a very important subject, is that if we can all just pay attention to people, because we all in such a fast pace that we're like, hello, how are you? But we really don't want to know how the person is. We don't even wait to hear the answer. We're off to the next tangent. And if we, for the next 21 days, can actually embrace each person, give them a hug, say, hello, I care about you. How are you really? And really be present in your conversations. I think you're building a better relationship with friends, with anyone. And going forward into the next few months, that's also going to assist greatly.
Exactly.
No, definitely it will. All around.
Definitely.
I mean, the more you know about the person that you're talking to or communicating with, the more you'll convey what you mean to them as well, because they will end up being on the same synergy as you, same wavelength, if you want to call it that. So it's a wonderful time as well that we actually can embrace to make strong communication and ties with our friends, our neighbors, our colleagues, and also just to make things better even in the workplace and all round.
Exactly.
So slow down.
Guys,
and
final message from Lynn.
Well, I would just say, you know what, this is lie in a bath with Epsom salts if you can and cleanse. Look after yourself. You are the most important person. Very importantly, get rid of all the phobias and fears and things. Forgive yourself is the most important thing. And this is the time between this full moon and the next full moon that you need to forgive yourself. Embrace yourself. When last did you just give yourself a hug and say, you know what? You are wonderful. I actually love me. And we need to do that. Very, very much so.
Yes. It's so important that we love ourselves.
Well, for the last, being offered the last word is not going to go for long. So basically, from my perspective, and what I would like to send out to the universe is, to everyone who wants to make a change, make that decision now, number one. Number two, make a plan of what you want to get rid of, where you want to go, and follow through. One step at a time will get you there.
For 21 days.
Absolutely. You know, and basically blessings to each and every one of you. May you be energized, invigorated, and enlightened.
And may you embrace this lunatic time, because it's not actually a lunatic time. It's actually to dispel the lunatic within. So lots of love and light and laughter, importantly, to everyone.
Love and laughter to all.
It's so important. It's so important for us to be able to, embrace changes in our lives. And I think that, for a long time we were sort of caught up in the chaos of the world. Now things are changing and evolving, and it's up to us now as individuals and as a group and as a collective to take up this challenge. 21 days is not long in our lives. And if you can make changes in 21 days, imagine what you can do with the rest of your life. If you can affect change, mind, body, and soul.
Oh,
so my blessing to everybody is to take up the 21-day challenge. Let us know how it's going, and I will definitely bring it up again at the end of the month and see how people are doing and coping with this 21-day challenge. And I just wanted to say a heartfelt thank you to Lynn and to Istvan for jumping on at the very last second and rescuing the show as we were having terrible technical difficulties at the beginning. So we have to acknowledge that Spirit needed us to maybe take up a challenge. And so we feel like we've won the challenge. And I hope that everybody's enjoyed our chat and our laughter and
Definitely.
the tongue in cheek. And I thank everybody for joining us. So thank you for sticking around and waiting till the end. And I send everybody love and light and blessings. And until next week, this is Priscilla Gendron from Psychic Talk. And thank you to Lynn and Istvan. Good night, everybody.